Henri, it is wonderful to have the opportunity to have you on as actually my very first guest on Beyond the Diagnosis. And I've had the opportunity to get to know you a little bit through some conversations that we've had. And I just find you delightful. I find a connection with you. I love what your history has been, what your purpose is now. And as you have learned from me, I find that there are five pillars that have to do with cancer, and that is there is the diagnosis, and oncology is phenomenal at taking care of the treatment, the surgery, the whole prognosis, the process. But there is so much that happens outside of the diagnosis, and that has to do with the excuse me the emotional, the mental, the physical, the spiritual, and the financial all come into play. And there are so many people who are affected in all of those categories. And this call is not just for the patient, it is for the caregiver, it's for the loved ones, it's for the friends and family. One diagnosis has major impact on so many people, and the one primary person that's always overlooked is the caregiver. And the caregiver, as you can relate, and I'm sure if your lovely wife was on, she would certainly conclude that indeed it's emotionally draining, it's physically draining. There's so much that has to be done, and her schedule changes completely when yours does. And so that is our purpose here, and all of our recordings and the podcasts that we have are going to be around those five pillars. And you, I came to learn, actually have a purpose of focusing on one, which is very dear to me. And I believe you are the primo model for this, and that is the physical, with how you approach the physical, the social, the diet. And I'm very impressed and feel grateful to have you on this call. So, would you mind, Henri, just sharing a little bit about your background prior to receiving that diagnosis, and then we'll go into your journey once that occurred?
Thank you very much, Karen. Before we start, I have to say again that in the last few weeks that we've known each other, your passion, your love, your care to make life better for us, so-called cancer partners, is incredible. You are a wonderful human being. So now, to get back to your question, indeed, I was born in Switzerland. I lived and worked in about 20 countries around the world. And now my wife, Georgiana, and I are semi-retired here in a small resort town of Steamboat Springs in Colorado. Until 3 years ago, both my wife and I had been super healthy, never sick. We ate right, we didn't smoke, we didn't take alcohol. And yet, 3 years ago, through my regular annual medical, I came down with a rather advanced case of prostate cancer. I had missed one of those annual medicals because of COVID, so this made it slightly worse. Anyway, I started then to learn about the medical world. That was my first contact with the urologists, with the oncologist, and I was so impressed with the technology, the innovation, the scientific aspects of the medical world. It was really a discovery. So 3 years ago, I was diagnosed. That was the first big question mark: what to do, how to proceed, what are the first steps. The oncologist talking to the urologist. And then we decided, well, one way or another, we have to move forward. And together we charged ahead.
Oh, that is phenomenal. What and I just so admire that about you, your passion and your determination. What do you think surprised you the most on the cancer journey? Whether it was, something that you learned about people, and you really touched upon it, where medical science is these days with technology, but anything else stand out to you about the journey, the people, the experience?
Two or three things. First of all, of course, having been super healthy.
Yeah.
And then one day I was driving back home,
Yeah.
having received the diagnosis that I had an advanced stage of cancer. I was driving home, looking around, thinking, is it the last time I do this drive? So the shock of the first few days, number one. Number two, we are very fortunate here to have amazing medical teams. We have a small but very advanced hospital in Steamboat, and everybody was so caring. That was really touching me. And the next aspect was within a few weeks after the MRIs and biopsies, we decided to go for a surgery that was a fully robotic surgery.
Wow.
So when they took me into the surgery room, I was still awake.
Yeah.
Suddenly, I had the whole team around me, and they wheeled in the robot with 6 arms above me. And then these 6 arms were going to go into 6 small buttonholes. And the surgeon was on a couple of joysticks a few feet away. So that was quite a surprise.
I can't imagine. It's like playing those video games.
Yes.
This is your life.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
remarkable. I certainly did not know that, and I've never heard that before. That's amazing. And it really is amazing that you live in a very small community and do have that advanced technology,
They
medical
have this
facility.
here, yes.
Believe-
These robots are called Da Vinci,
Wow.
and
Wow.
most hospitals these days do have one or several of those Da Vinci robots. Now,
Wow.
in addition to the medical center here in Steamboat, then I was gradually taken over by the Shaw Cancer Center in Vale.
Okay.
All they do is cancer. They have world-renowned oncologists. When
Wow.
I stayed,
Okay.
so a few months after my surgeries, I had to undergo 38 days of radiation. So the cancer center there has a guest house. It is literally a five-star hotel that is free of charge, donations from people of the area. So I would drive on Monday and spend the week there and drive back home for the weekend. That was another surprise, really, to see this radiation machine, to have a guest house, and within the guest house, they would emphasize the 360 degrees health quality. So they would give you free of charge acupuncture session, massage, sound therapy, qigong sessions to help your body
Wow.
strengthen itself as you underwent those radiation sessions. So that was quite an amazing experience.
I have got to say, there are not many five-star experiences with cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
You have had it. It is phenomenal that you live where you do and that it happened where it did. That's exciting. Everybody's going to be flocking out there to try to come in to take care of theirs, and I don't blame them. What gives you hope today?
So what gives me hope is that I feel much better than expected. I have undergone most treatment than most of my cancer partners between surgery, radiation, and now two
Yeah.
years on hormone treatment.
Wow.
And what gives me hope is the comments from the oncologists who told me, Henry, the program you have developed for yourself is really helping you to have a quasi normal life.
Okay.
Why don't you? And they sent, quote, sent or guided a few other patients to me
Mhm.
for discussions. We had tea or coffee and we talked about, and that's how I started my small, very amateurish YouTube channel talking about my 5 pillars, which again, nutrition, how to help rebuild your body. Hydration is sometimes overlooked. Sleep, the quality and the quantity of sleep. Then you have the physical activity to keep active, to go to the gym if you can, to do some resistance exercise, and the social environment to keep socially busy. So this really gives me hope. Every day I talk to a few other cancer partners or I meet them at the gym and we exchange the positive and the good news about how we are doing better than expected.
Do you mind sharing what you created, which I know is where I got to see you, and that is your YouTube? If you would share it with others so they could go and watch the different recordings that you've made.
Sure. So it's quite simple. It's on YouTube and it is called Vibrant Despite Cancer. I have about 12 videos online so far, Vibrant Despite Cancer. Again, they are very basic and amateurish. I still don't know how to edit videos, but some of the doctors have gone online, have seen them, and the doctors have passed them on to some of their other patients. So, like you, I'm hoping to do a small difference for a few of our cancer partners.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I like about you is you don't let your lack of what you have as knowledge stop you. It's like me with technology. I really don't know it, but I'm going to figure out how to flub through it and make it work because it just we get better as we go through it. And we're helping other people. So I think that is phenomenal. And if you were to find yourself sitting on a park bench this afternoon with somebody who was just diagnosed with cancer, what are things you'd have to say to them?
You know, it happened last week.
Oh,
One of my neighbors here,
okay. Okay.
who is 80 years old
Okay.
and who is also exercising in Colorado here, everybody is active. He came to me and he says, Henry, can you keep a secret? I said, of course, I'm Swiss. I can keep a secret. And and then he says, I was just diagnosed with prostate cancer. I had my scan, PET scan, and it has spread in other parts of the body. So I sat down with him and I explained to him that this is by far not as bad as it appears. There are so many ways now. Medicine has so many tools at its disposal that you can overcome faster than you think. Your life will keep on going pretty much as it was for a long time to come. So we all go through this shock. We all feel despair. But I explained to him about what I went through.
Yeah.
He had no idea, because we are neighbors,
Right.
that
Yeah.
that I had gone through all of that for the last 3 years. So yeah, it happened. So now he comes here to the house every other day and we chat and we talk. And he came back the other day with a big smile and he said, you know, Henry, I feel good. Things are going to work out.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful that you're passing all of that around. It just it matters so much. Our mental place where we are to excel and overcome it is too important. And so I certainly want to thank you for sharing your story and your willingness to open up to us. And I hope that you'll consider joining us for another episode. And over time, I so look forward to getting to know you better. So thank you so much, Henri. Bye.
Thank you so much to you, Karen. And as I always say, you are like a candle. You can light up so many more candles without losing any of your brightness. Thank
Well,
you and take care.
thank you.